Namaste, welcome to Buddha's teaching. Today I'd like to talk on a topic regarding state of mind, which happens to us from time to time. For some, it happens a lot, for some happen less. We have life that we have to support. So there are times that we feel lost, we feel confused, we are under a lot of stress, we feel agitated, depending on many different kinds of scenarios that happens in our life. But every one of us, we bound to meet this kind of situation, depending on different kinds of things that goes on in our life, whether it is our relationship, whether it is about our job, financial matter, or whether it's about families things, right? Family related matters. In any case, there are times that we encounter this kind of happenings in our lives, and we become so overwhelmed with emotion, with the feelings. So we become we feel lost, we feel confused, we feel stressed, and also agitated, and also worry that associate with the situation. So what do we do? What can we do to help us out, to help ourselves out in this kind of scenario, in this kind of situation? So as we know, life there are times that life can be challenging. Okay, and so there are two things, there are two forces involved in here. Okay, one is the force that is beyond our control. Okay, so and there's another the other force, or the other energy, in a way that we can say, that is under our control. So what are those two forces that we're talking about? Okay, so let's say you in a relationship. Okay, and then there's something happen to your loved one, or the other person change his or her mind about the relationship. Okay, so that is something that has to do with the other person there. Okay, so that is what we call a force beyond our control. Okay, it's another person's mind, it's something else that happened because of that other person. Okay, another scenario, let's say you are in a job situation, and there's looming rumors that there will be layoffs, there will be a lot of trimming down in the companies due to whatever reason. So there are worries that that goes on inside our mind, that okay, what is going to happen to my job and things like that, right? So that is the force that is beyond our control. Okay, we cannot control that force, right? So those are just some of the things. Okay, or either even regarding health. Okay, for for some reason, you happen uh, to be diagnosed with some kind of serious sickness or whatnot. It is in a way that is, wow, it comes by like a surprise kind of thing, right? Force that is beyond our control is something that we cannot do anything much about it. So that is not something that we um, can do much. So that is the force that we need to see it as it is. Okay, and we just look at it and say, okay, so that is what is happening. Okay, is there anything that you can do to change it or not? But most likely, um, the majority of the time, there isn't much that we can do because that force is beyond our control. Okay, so what is the force that is under our control? The force under our control is our own very own emotion, our very own mind right here. Okay, that is under our control if we know what to do. Okay, so that's the important thing. If we know what to do, if we understand the situation, then we would not be lost, we would not be confused or agitated or become stressed or whatnot. Now it's because of this force that is beyond our control that is affecting us, right? That create us, that give us stress, give us this all kinds of feelings and emotion. Okay, give us worries and anxiety and all of that. Okay, so now the force that is beyond our control is something that we cannot really do anything much. So that is one. The force or that is under our control is the mind. Okay, it's our mind right here, what we feel right here. Okay, the pressure, the stress that we are feeling inside, right? And all the negative energy that is building up inside us make us feel anxious, give us sleepless nights and all of that. So that is the force that is happening inside of us. Okay, so that has to do with our very own mind, our very own thinking, right? Okay, so that is something that we can do if we know what to do. All right, so that's why it's so important that when we learn about Buddha's teaching, that's what exactly what the Buddha taught. Okay, the Buddha taught that there are people, there are phenomena, there are things that's happening all around us that is beyond our control. Okay, it's you cannot change people's mind, situation that whatever others do is beyond our control. Whatever they do, I mean, whatever they do, that affect our thing. But what is under our control is our mind right here, right? Our mind right here is should be under our control. How do we respond to the situation, to the different scenario? That is under our control, right? Because if it's not under our control, if we do not understand our own mind, we're gonna be lost. We're gonna be so confused, so lost, so stressed with all of this going on, and it's the mind is going all over the place, everywhere. It's because we do not understand this one. Okay, so that is of utmost important that we need to understand this, and that's why we study Buddha's teaching, right? So again, if we look back at the lessons that we have covered, emotion, all of our feelings are emotion, right? The way that we respond to different experiences that we encounter is all based on our desire. Okay, it's based on our very own desire, and when our desire is not met, okay, our partner leaves us, the job is gonna do something that probably is gonna affect us financially, things like that, because okay, so As we all know, nature changes all the time, right? Nothing remains the same. Everything is impermanent. So jobs change, partners change, um, your children change, everything change, right? So that's why we need to understand all this changing, never ending story that it keeps evolving, keeps going. We have to understand this. So how we respond to the change is what important. Okay, if we do not know this one, then we're gonna react negatively to the different experiences, to the different encounter, different happenings all around us, and then we become lost. Okay, because it doesn't meet our expectation, it doesn't meet our hope, our wish, right? So for a lot of people, when so many things happen, they get lost and confused, feel so dark and heavy. When they have no hope, no choice in a way, right? A lot of people would probably go like this and run to pray to the deities, pray to the higher power, pray to the angel, pray to God, or go to worship for somebody, please help, you know, um, all kinds of things, right? So that is not a Buddha's teaching. Okay, when you go pray and asking for help from angel power, from God and whatnot, um, that is what a lot of people do. But the Buddha say, look back, you know, depend on yourself. Okay, look back, depend on yourself, your emotion, all right, your feeling, your emotion. This is where you need to take care of, right? You're not going asking for help from high power or whatever. No, that's not what the Buddha taught. The Buddha taught, look at the situation, okay? Things that beyond your control you cannot do. But what is it that you can do? Okay, the thing that cause us problem, the thing that cause us anxiety, give us confused, is because the our expectation is not met, right? Our desire is not met. All right, we want that person to stay with us while he or she leaves us, right? We want the job to be stable, or we want the big promotion, and we don't want to get laid off. And why people or company do things like that, right? So when things don't happen according to what we want, we have all this thing going on. So that's why we need to come back and look at it. Oh, okay, so the feeling, the confusion, right? The stress that is happening is here. Okay, it's here. It's not out there. Out there is always changing. It's always happening. So what's happening in here is that we don't want those things to change, and that is a problem. It's because we do not understand the evolution of nature. Nature is always changing. Okay, so for us, if we cannot accept the change in people, in job, in families or whatnot, then it's who we are. We are the one who do not understand what this is all about. All right, life is like this. It's always changing. That is the guarantee. That is the promise of life. It's always changing. Nothing remains the same. So when we expect things to remain the same, we are asking for trouble, okay, for ourselves. So we always, of course, should be prepared in the back of our mind that yes, right now everything, let's say everything is good, the relationship, the job, the family, the children or whatnot. But at the back of our mind, we know that nothing is gonna stay the same. Okay, so this is what we need to keep in mind. So with that in mind, we should always have some kind of backup plan, all the time. We kind of have an awareness at the background and say, if that happens, what would I do, or how would I react? Okay, because something is always going to happen, right? Something is always going to happen around the corner that we are not aware of. And how we respond is what important. Okay, how we respond is what important. Okay, so we cannot change another person's mind. We cannot, but here's what we can do. We say, okay, either I have made some kind of mistake, or I've done everything that I could, right? So if the person decided that he or she decide to leave, there's nothing you can do. You said, all right, so that's it. It is. That's how it is. Okay, you're not fighting the force. Okay, you can give it a try. Okay, see what's going on, why it does happen like that. But the ultimate thing is that you come to accept things as they are. In another word, is that when things change, you will realize, you become, you're aware of this thing, you understand it, you accept it, you say, okay, now this is happening. Okay, um, things always like this. Okay, so now what is it that I can do, right? Okay, prepare the resume, looking for a new job. All right, setting myself up. Okay, now there's a breakup in a family. Okay, try to secure whatever thing that we need to do, to support ourselves and move on. That's it. There's no need to fight, right? Because you cannot uh, it's next to impossible to try to change things that's beyond our control. So when things don't happen according to what we want, watch this desire, because our desire brings us into all kinds of uh, you know stressful feeling, painful feeling inside, because we don't want that to happen, right? That is what, because we don't understand the situation, right? We don't want this to happen. We don't want that to happen. We don't want that. That's not how you go about in life, right? Things happen, it's gonna happen, all right? It's not about what we want or not, right? When it happens, it happens. Okay, what's important is how we respond to that. If we respond to it in a calm way, okay, in a positive way, and we can see, okay, now this is happening right now. Okay, something happened. What is it that I can do? Okay, to remedy the situation, to help the situation, and do not use emotion to solve problem. If there's emotion rise, you need to calm down, stay, and say, this is not a this is not the right mode of making decision. When your emotion is high, whatever decision you make, whatever you talk, whatever you spit out, tend to be wrong. All right, tend to go not in the right direction. So just step back and relax and say, okay, so this is what it is. All right, what is it that you need to do to take care of this one, right? So this is how you handle a situation, and if you can handle that, then that's why we need to understand this. When there's emotion arise, right? When feelings arise, we have to understand, there is this negative feeling arise. Okay, whatever, right? There's anger arise when somebody try to break up from you. there's worries arise, which is all unwholesome, right? When there's financial issue coming, right? There's all these things. So all this feeling here, and you will notice that, okay, so now this is what it is. This is what the Buddha taught. There's feeling, there's emotion that is rising according to all of this phenomenon that's happening. And at least, but now you already hear about this, so you become aware of it a little bit. But if you never heard this message, you get lost, all right? You get lost with all of this commotion that goes on in your life, and you don't know what to do. You become stressed, right? And become depressed and all that. But no, we step back, right? We step back. We said, okay, what I need to do. I understand things are always like this. Okay, even this emotion, when an emotion arises, okay, I understand this emotion is coming up, negative or positive, right? It doesn't matter. But so after a while, you can see that those phenomenon, right? The relationship, the jobs, the whatever situation happening, and it changed. Also in here, things change. Your feeling and your emotion, all right? Whatever that rise up, it's gonna rise and it's gonna go away. Okay, so and then it rise again, it's gonna pass away again. Okay, and again it's the same. The life is a stream of energy, right? As we have touched on before, life is a stream of energy. All the experience that we have today, we feel you feeling this way, the next day you're feeling differently. Even right now you're feeling this way, the next minute, the next hour, you feel completely different. Your mind can flip can change from being happy to sad to angry or vice versa. Things are always change like this. That is the mind. Okay, once you understand this, once you learn about this changing mind, then you say, so that's what the Buddha is talking about. That this mind here is changing like this. It's always like that, and it's just happening. But there is no body is doing it. It's the mind is always reacting, responding to reacting, to all kinds of things that's happening through our senses, right? So it's happening all the time, and the mind always reacts. So you say, oh, that's what it is. It's the evolution of the mind. Okay, and it runs on the big engine of desire, of anger, hatred, and of the ignorance about the self-I and all that. So that's what the teaching is all about. And the more we understand about this, the more we become aware of this happening, the less stress we have, the better we feel, believe it or not. And you become less tense toward everything that's happening. You become less attached to things that's happening around us, around you, right? You just accept things as they are. Positive things happen, fine. Negative things happen, fine. You just acknowledge it, all right? You go on with it, and you deal with it or whatever in the way that you become disconnect more and more, right? Become detached more and more from all of these things because you develop an understanding that things are always like this. It's changing. Nothing that you can really cling on to it and it stay there forever and ever until eternity. It's not like that, right? It's just always is, change. It's just like if you look out in the cloud, in the blue sky, the cloud is always changing in form. The same thing, our mind is always changing. It's the same because we are part of nature, nothing permanent, right? With that understanding, so when you are in a situation that you feel so lost and confused or happy, You step back and say, no, that is because this mind right here wants something that it cannot get, and that's why it's under stress. So this mind here does not understand reality. Okay, so you step back and say, I guess I don't understand this one here. I don't understand reality. Things happen like that. Just, okay, now things happen. Okay, what I do, what I need to do, and that's it, right? And then just move on. That would be the way that to handle stressful situation, anxiety, feeling confused or lost or whatnot. This is the only way. You find out, you accept it. Okay, now things change. All right, I'm not gonna try to force you to come back from not breaking up with me. All right, no. If you make up your mind, you're already. There's nothing I can do, right? It's beyond your control. You cannot make people to like you. All right. I mean, you can bribe people to have them like you for a while at the end, which we call it's not true, it's not genuine, it's just fake love or fake whatever, right? There are a lot of people doing that, but it's not real, and you know that, right? So by taking care of your own, your inner mind right here, your very own understanding of the situation, and then you will find peace within. You say, okay, peace is with the acceptance of reality, and this is true reality. When you accept things, you just work according to what is happening and just move on. That's it. Okay. So that's what I like to share with you all today. When you're feeling lost, confused, and things, don't really know what to do, this is how you go about doing it. Right? Until next time, I like to pay respect to the triple gems. I like to pay respect to the Buddha. I like to pay respect to the Dharma. And I like to pay respect to the Sangha. Namaste.